That's right. It's KP Video News, y'all. And it is what it is. It's the news. Yep. Coming to you with the news here today. And it's one story. Well, I'm not going to do that first. I'm going to do this story first, and then I'm going to do that second one, which, wow. Anyway, TJ Lofton is today's most prolific expert on gentrification and economics. Threatened by gentrification and corporate expansion across the United States, small business owners and longtime residents are at risk for displacement. TJ offers updated strategies and solutions with the release of a new edition of his top selling Monetizing Gentrification, Building Black Ownership. A native of Compton, California, TJ has always advocated for business and home ownership. He has a long history of identifying and fighting wrongful politics, especially when it affected black communities. During the last 15 years, his voice and collaborative efforts range from advocating for residents affected by the Section 8 scandal of Antelope Valley, California, to the mass displacement of the primarily black communities within urban Los Angeles. Silicon Valley tech companies Metro, Elon Musk, SpaceX, NFL, BlackRock, and other major corporations swooped into the region, monopolizing properties and businesses. A seasoned investor, TJ, identified the agenda to remove businesses and home ownership nationally. TJ is a well-renowned international business leader, celebrity car builder and manufacturer, real estate and land development, a gentrification expert, speaker, author, wealth coach, and has been hands-on in building businesses, industries, and communities, becoming the business advisor to the late ancestor Dr. Sebi, world-renowned herbalist and celebrity holistic healer. Uh, he was connected with him, and he has a forthcoming documentary by the late Nipsey Hussle and also with Nick Cannon. But will forever impact TJ's life as Dr. Sebi redirected TJ to teach others globally how to fight gentrification and how to obtain residential and commercial ownership. TJ has been an advisor to Compton and Inglewood school districts and the homeschooler community. To date, he has toured 24 states, analyzing various states of gentrification within black communities and its effect on businesses and home ownership. The tour has enabled him to write the ultimate handbook, Monetizing Gentrification, Building Black Ownership, and you can get your copy today at tjloftin.com. That's TJLOFTIN.com. I got to get a copy of that. One. But I read that story first, so I can read into this story. And I'm gonna read the story first, and then I'm gonna give you my opinion on what I think about it. They have Serena Williams is building schools in Jamaica and various African nations. So more than a tennis champion, Serena Williams has always been a champion for a cause through the Serena Williams Fund. New schools are being built in Jamaica and various countries in the African continent. Williams, who has a total of 39 Grand Slam titles under her belt, recently built the Marsh Elementary School in Jamaica in conjunction with the nonprofit Helping Hands Jamaica. Schools on the African continent were also built in partnership with Build Africa. Prior to that, Williams already established grade schools in other African countries, including Uganda, Zimbabwe, and Kenya. Those efforts were part of Williams' mission through her own nonprofit organization called Serena Williams Fund to promote equity through education, gender, race, disability, or anything else that stands in the way of someone achieving their goals and living their best possible life. The mission of this charity is to help the individuals or communities affected by violence and equal access to education, Williams said in a statement. And according to Borgen magazine, the sports superstar has done extraordinary tasks using her own resources and through partnerships with the Serena Williams Fund and other foundations dedicated to providing and improving education for those in difficult conditions or developing countries. And her active role has notably left a mark on those who have had their lives changed through this act of kindness. Okay. Williams is also named as a UNICEF Goodwill Ambassador, and she also founded Serena Ventures, which aims to invest in the early stage companies to give them a wide opportunity to grow. Okay, now here's my opinion of it, and you can take it or you can leave it alone. I commend her for what she's doing. However, my issue is where she's doing it, because she's from America. She's from the United States. It's your money. You can do whatever you want to do with your money. However, in the United States of America, in cities like St. Louis, Chicago, Baltimore, uh, New Orleans, these are cities where you have the exact same problems that she's talking about. And I don't see her. Oprah Winfrey is another one that opened up a school in Africa. Why is it that people with money, predominantly black females, what is the issue that they have with helping their own people right here in the United States? Why do you have to leave the country to go build a school in another country when we have problems right here in the United States that need to be addressed? Because they're closing schools in the inner city, in they're closing schools. They even closing schools in Inglewood, California. So they're closing schools in Chicago, closing schools in St. Louis, closing schools in New Orleans, closing schools in Baltimore. They're those schools that serve the black community. So why are you going out of the country to open up a school? It's you know, counterproductive, if you ask me. And I feel the same way about those people that call themselves owning businesses, black businesses, like Puffy Combs and all of them. You want me to support your black business. However, all of your products are being made in China. You need to start building some factories here in the United States to give some people in your community some jobs right here in this country. So if you're not going to do that, don't approach me with the madness, because I'm not really having it today. Okay, here's a celebration here. Moving on, moving on. That was a little sidebar there, and that was just my opinion. Like I said, you can take it or you can leave it alone. So at the age of 13, Yolanda Renee King is already following in the footsteps of her late grandfather, Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., as an activist and a speaker. She made headlines uh, uh, when she recently reflected on the importance of MLK Day, which honors King every third Monday in January since it became a federal holiday in 1986. MLK Day is not a day off. It should be treated as a day on. It is a day of service. I think that instead of idolizing my grandfather, pick a service project and do something to help the community. It could be something as simple as picking up trash around your neighborhood park, she said in an interview. In her speech, she also addressed such issues as civil rights, critical race theory, her grandfather's dream, and how she has always wanted to help. There are even times my parents have told me about that I don't even remember. For instance, every day we would drive to school and we would see homeless people. She said when I was 3 or 4, was already talking about them and asking, what are we going to do to help them? She also stated that knowing that she came from an influential family made her want to use her voice more to address significant issues. Throughout my life, my parents have told me that your family has done some really phenomenal work, and you are the granddaughter of a really phenomenal people who changed this country and the world, she said. I really didn't understand the significance until she got a little older. That's right. The granddaughter, Yolanda Renee King, granddaughter of Martin Luther King. And I commend her on that. That's, you know, that's amazing. So we got some young people out here that are trying to do some things. So, uh, here we go now. Here's a historian educator that launched a $2,000 scholarship contest about predominantly black town in Iowa. Most people haven't heard of Buxton, Iowa, a thriving integrated coal mining town of 5,000 residents established in 1900, where blacks and whites were treated equally, and black Americans were doctors, lawyers, teachers, business owners, and leaders in the community. Rachel Chase, the author of 2 books about Buxton and the founder of executive director of Unity Through History, wants to change all that. To help spread the word of about this amazing town, Chase invites middle school and high school students nationwide to enter Unity Through History's second annual online uh, hip history contest for a chance to win prizes. Thanks to the grant from the Legacy Foundation of Ottumwa, Iowa, contest finalists will win scholarships from $250 to $2,000, and the winners of schools will win a matching amount. Chase loves the creativity of last year's entries. Students submitted videos of themselves performing songs, poems, skits, and stories they wrote, she says. They've created documentaries. One young man even used a vintage television and flying pigs to tell Buxton's story. Chase has a new challenge for this year's entrance. We'd like to see students dig a little deeper, really highlight the black experience and show how black Americans have made a difference in Buxton and why racial equality and equity is important today. This year's contest judges will rate how well entrants address that. Contest judges include Charity Nebb of Iowa Public Radio, Derek Holmes, CEO of Banneker Watches and Clocks, Steve Myers, president of Iowa's premier talent agency, the Peak Agency, and Monica Henry, a successful realtor. More judges will be added weekly in February, and we're really excited about the contest judges because not only will they help pick the winners, they are donating their time to meet with entrants, said Chase. The Hip History Contest is one of the projects that is uniting through history offers to further acceptance of the pride and the fact that black history is American history. And yep. At a time when Jim Crow laws limited the rights of black Americans and black Americans experienced extreme racism, violence, and others were lynched throughout the country, Buxton is an example of what happens when all people are given equal access to opportunities, education, jobs, and equal pay. It's also an example of how corporations, businesses, and individuals of all ethnicities benefit from treating everyone equally. And they didn't have, so I got to do a little more research on that town myself to see exactly what happened. Exactly what happened with it. Okay, here's another good story. We have a best-selling author and mother of 3, Tiffany Parker from Birmingham, Alabama, has released an innovative children's books. And this particular book called "Just Like Your Daddy" to shift the narrative of black fathers. Just Like Your Daddy is an expressive story filled with the daily affirmations that are meant to uplift children of all ages. The book was designed to empower